everyone, it's Nina and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a nice bookish reset video. I've done other reset videos on my channel, but this one I really want to focus on getting kind of like reset and prepared for a better reading month. I've been having a very slow reading year so far in 2025, but I think the summer is going to be my time to shine since the school year is finally over. So for this video, the plan is going to be, firstly, I really want to work on my reading journal because I'm probably going to film some type of like halfway through the year flip through of all the progress I've made in my journal. And I do want to decorate and like kind of write in on some of the older spreads that I think I might be missing a couple things in. I actually am going to try and like plan out my TBR and maybe mention also some of the videos that I have planned to film soon as well. We're also going to be doing like kind of typical things I do in my reset videos, like cleaning, doing laundry, like changing out my bedding, and just kind of like resetting my space. We also might be going out shopping. My wife needs to go buy some shoes and I need to buy some rain boots. So we're probably gonna go like out of the city to run some errands. It also has been a couple days since the Iron Flame paperback has come out, and I haven't gotten it yet because it was raining like pretty much all of last week since the release day. So I didn't like stop into any store after work to pick it up because I didn't want it to like get super wet when I was taking it home. But now it's supposed to be really beautiful for this long weekend. So I think I can go to one of the indie bookstores in our area and pick up a copy of it. And if they for some reason don't have it at an indie bookstore, I'll probably go to one of the local Barnes & Nobles to get it instead. I also thought really quickly to kind of end off this intro portion, I would mention my current read. I'm very close to finishing the last book I talked about in my weekly reading vlog, which was The Blood Phoenix. I'm probably going to finish that later today or sometime tomorrow. The other book I have since started and I'm really enjoying is The Wager by David Grann. This is a nonfiction book about a like shipwreck and like kind of true crime story that happened in the 1740s. And it's really good. I've been listening to it on audio primarily, but I did read some of it physically this morning. I'm currently about to start chapter 8, which is the beginning of part 3, which is around like 96 pages into the book. And yeah, I've been really enjoying this so far. I actually picked up this really beautiful hardcover from a little free library. This has been a book that was on my radar for a pretty long time, I think even before it came out. So I'm really glad I was able to find a copy for free. And I'm also lucky that my library has the audiobook version, so I can kind of read them switching off depending on my mood. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading this in the next couple days, either as audio or physically, as we go about the rest of this reset. And yeah, with that long intro out of the way, let's get right on into the rest of the video. We got Chores was it lemon
cheesecake, I think.
The Oreo one, and then the confetti cake. I think we've had these three before, but we've not had this one. So what are you going to start off with, bro?
Oh, I don't know. Probably the lemon cheesecake. I thought it would be like a custard like that, but it's like a cookie, so.
Yeah, although I think this is probably the one that's probably going to go, because it's like soaked in the milk, I think this probably would go, not like bad fastest, but I might start with that. But between these two. We went out shopping and bro got some stuff. Will you want to show it to me? Okay, bro got new shoes.
I got these shoes for a cosplay. So
yeah.
Pretty nice.
They're giving Kim Wexler.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to paint them and put rhinestones on them.
Very fun.
Very fun. I went to a thrift shop. Bro found this book for me about smuggling exotic pets.
Hell yeah.
Which is just the kind of weird, like, nonfiction I like. Got some CDs. I got Pieces of You by Jewel and Full Moon by Brandy.
Serve.
I don't really know these artists, so Sleeping Beauty Blu-ray.
Yeah, I picked that out.
Can't go wrong for $1.
Absolutely.
And then the Crown Jewel.
She's like
very... This was like on the shelf and I was like, what is the Hilary Duff All Access Pass?
I love it.
And I'm like, I don't think I had this as a child, but I definitely wanted it. It's
Hell
like
yeah.
her music videos and like some like behind the scenes stuff. I think.
Well, I know what we're gonna watch tonight besides the movie that we're gonna watch.
Hillary's #1 album, Metamorphosis, is in stores now.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God. I'm like, I remember this outfit from 2003.
Okay.
Very exciting.
Great haul. Okay, so I thought I would talk about my TBR for the coming month of June, as well as just like some kind of upcoming videos I'm working on. Starting off, I have a very busy June in terms of like my social life and like things that we're going to be doing like pretty much every weekend. Probably when you guys are seeing this video, it's the first weekend in June. I had some like extra work I had to do. The following weekend is the Pokemon Go Fest in Jersey. So we are going to be going to that. And then later on in the month, we're also going to be visiting our friends in Providence for the first time. And I'm definitely going to be filming some type of like travel vlog while we are there. We have never been before. This is our first time visiting our friends since they moved there. And we are very excited. I'm always looking for more like interesting indie bookstores to check out. So that's definitely something on our agenda when we're there. And then at the end of the month, it's one of our friends' bachelorette party that we're actually going to be going and like having a very cozy, crafty, and bookish, relaxing week-long weekend at a cabin. And I have a very specific book that I am planning on reading while we are there that I might film a reading vlog for. Anyway, in terms of my like overall TBR, specifically for June, but just kind of like for the rest of the summer, is that I'm very much in the mood to read a bunch of gay books that are on my physical TBR. Obviously, since June is also Pride Month. So I grabbed a couple of the books that I think I'm going to try and read in the next couple weeks. The first two are some historical queer romances. I think actually the only two queer historical romances that I have not yet read that I own. The first one is The Duke's Sister and I by Emma Claire Sunday. And the other one is It Takes Two to Tumble by Cat Sebastian. This one is a FF historical romance, probably set during the Regency period, given the outfits the girls have on the cover. And then this one is an MM historical romance that I believe is set in the early 1800s. Yes, like 1817 from the first chapter. I don't know pretty much anything about the plot of this one. Obviously, the title of The Duke's Sister and I is a play on the first Bridgerton novel, which is The Duke and I, where our like main character, I'm assuming, falls in love with her potential suitor's sister. And then It Takes Two to Tumble, I know, was the start of a like larger series from Cat Sebastian. I think of 3 books, similarly to how she has the Turner series. This one is the Sedgwick series, and I'm pretty sure all of the books in this series have a like single dad trope to them, which if you've heard me talk about the other Cat Sebastian book that I really, really love, which is the Lawrence Brown Affair, that also has that trope in it. So I'm interested in seeing how she does it in like 3 other books, all with a like male-male romance as the focus. So yeah, super excited to read both of these books. Both of them I do own physically, but I can also get the audiobooks through Hoopla. I don't think I've shown that I bought this one in a video so far. I got it from Barnes & Noble a couple weeks ago because I actually had a leftover gift card from my birthday, which is back in November, that I finally decided to use. And I decided to pick this one up because these like smaller, like slightly larger than typical mass market paperbacks are only like $6. So I figured, yes, this is a book I do really want to read. I might as well go ahead and pick it up now. And if I like this one, I probably will get the rest of the ones in this series as well. Since I obviously already know from reading the Turner series that I really do like Cat Sebastian's books. So yes, these are 2 of the historical queer romances that I'm going to be checking out. I'll go a little bit faster for the other ones I have here. I have 2 other books on my physical TBR that I would like to read this month as well. The first one is The Fox and the Dryad by Kellen Graves. This is a queer fantasy romance that is set in the same universe as Kellen Graves' other series. However, I did not really like the first book in that series, so I'm probably not going to be continuing it. And instead, I decided to pick up this other standalone that is also, I think, a human ex-fae romance. I wanted to check this out for quite a while. I, first of all, am obsessed with the cover design. I think the illustration is so beautiful. And I'm pretty sure the covers of all of Kellen Graves' books are done by their partner. So hopefully if the content inside is as good as the cover, I'll be very, very happy. And the last book I have on my TBR is the first volume of Heaven Official's Blessing by Mo Xiang Tongxue, or MXTX. This is the last of MXTX's series that I have not read. It's also her longest, and also one that I think a lot of people really, really love. This is one of the new special edition versions that have come out for the series that have this like really beautiful like printed edge design that I think is going to like line up with the other 8 volumes to create like a full scene. Since I've been meaning to read this series for a while, I decided to pick up this particular edition. And if I like it, I'm definitely going to go ahead and buy the other special editions while they're still available. But I have to say, I don't know anything about what this series is about. It is one of the books in my 25 books to read in 2025, just because I do have a good track record with MXTX's other series. And I know a lot of people that are really, really ride or die for this series and for the main couple. So yeah, don't really know what to expect, but I'm just really excited to finally be able to check this one out. Also, there is no official audiobook, but I'm pretty sure there's at least 2 different like fan audiobooks that have come out So I'm probably going to try and find one of those to read when I'm at work and I don't have access to the physical version. But yes, here's a quick look at some of the books that I have for my June TBR. Knowing me and how much I mood read, probably maybe only 1 or 2 of these books will actually get finished in June, and then the rest of them will get swapped out with other books as I like change my mood and decide there's other things I want to read as well. But those are the books at least I'm planning to read so far. So it is now the next day and I do have a couple updates. This morning I did spend some more time reading The Wager. I currently am about to start chapter 11, which is page 123. I read this physically this morning, but I think as I moved forward my position in the audiobook, I'm around 47% of the way through, so just under halfway. And I am really enjoying this and finding it super interesting. Also, as you saw from this morning, I did spend some time updating my reading journal. I went ahead and added in all the books I read in May, and then did some of the prep pages for the individual entries of the books I've read this month, as well as doing the spread for June. And I went ahead for the TBR and added in all the books that we talked about earlier. I think the spread looks really, really cute. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I was really inspired by a couple stickers that had tulips on them, so I kind of wanted to go for a very bright, springy, pink-centered theme, and I think it turned out really cute. Comparing this spread to the one I did in May, this one is pretty simplistic, and then even further back, the one I did in April is even more basic. I just feel like were some of the earlier spreads, because I wasn't reading a ton, I didn't put a ton of effort into making the monthly spreads look really nice, but I'm glad that now that I'm kind of back on my reading train, to make my monthly journal entries feel more involved and decorated. I also really like how some of the framing stuff I did for these spreads came out, so I'm super excited to go back in and write out all of my thoughts on these books. Those are pretty much all the journal updates I can do right now. I definitely have a couple more books to add to the front section, but I just haven't had a chance to print out the book cover images. I have a bunch of books to add into the tracker over here. But that's my update for my progress for my reading journal so far. Yesterday I did end up checking out our local indie bookstore, and they actually didn't have the Iron Flame paperback in stock, but I was talking to the cashier and she was able to actually order it for me. So I probably will have that coming in the next couple days to go pick up. Glad I was able to get it from there as opposed to having to go to Barnes & Noble. I do like going to Barnes and I have nothing wrong with it, and honestly do think you should go there over buying stuff on Amazon. But for books that are special editions that I can get from indie bookstores and aren't like Barnes & Noble exclusives, I will try and get them from indie bookstores as many times as I can. So very excited to have that in my collection very soon. But I thought I would just pop on really quick right now to end off this vlog. I was able to get actually everything that was on my to-do list done for today. And I'm really glad I had this long weekend with 3 days in a row to relax without any set plans and just kind of reset and just check off a bunch of things that were on my to-do list. But that all said and done, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, commenting, or subscribing if you aren't already. Consider following me on my Bookstagram as well as my Storygraph, which are both linked in the description. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!